This video is about advanced compensation plan training. Now this is PRSC, right? Private Revenue Sharing Company, patent pending compensation program. You might want to take out, a pen or paper, right? Take some notes. A lot of information here. This is very in-depth. You're going to want to watch it a few times. Now once again, we have to go through the disclaimers, right? So if you make a purchase from Bids That Give, you're purchasing an e-commerce subscription, or you're purchasing bids to give away as samples. You're not purchasing stock or any form of investment or equity. You must actually use the bids that you've purchased or give them away as samples to help grow your business. Affiliates who present our products to others in a misleading manner or in a way that leads the buyer to believe he or she is making an investment or purchasing equities will be terminated. Now all commissions and awards will be forfeited. The buyers must read the entire How It Works section on the company website and the legal disclaimer. Now once again, the disclosure, you might want to take some time here, stop the video, read through this. So we're just going to go through some illustrations about PRSC. There's no guarantee of income. We're just using this for illustration purposes, but it gives you a better understanding of how the program works. So remember now, in Bids That Give, we offer multiple ways to earn income. In the the initial company video, we just kind of touched on the daily revenue share and just some of the upfront ways to earn income. In this one, we're going to talk about in depth the subscription bonus pools. So the quarterly six-figure lifestyle bonus, in the Million a Year Club, that's truly the amazing part of this program, and we're going to kind of cover that. So what we have here is subscription packages. So we talked about this in the first video, right? You have one of four commitments, $10, $50, $100, and $250. Now remember, you're getting bids, right, to be able to use in the auction to get stuff for up to 99% off. Now once again, get four, pay no more, right? That's the same or higher than your commitment. You get it absolutely free. And then we have the instant fast start bonuses. This was just put into effect towards the end of 2012 going into 2013. So once again, your first generation of referrals, you get up to 20%. And then of course the second generation is 10%. So if we were to do an illustration here, let's say you went out and got 5 people. 5's the magic number if you want to build a big army of people and make a lot of money. 5 is the magic number here. So let's just say the 5 people are wise enough to become global ambassadors. So remember, you get 20% of that. So 20% times those 5 people at their commitment of $250 gives you $250. And that's instant cash. So that's a way to get the money back right away, right, that you put in for your own bids. Now remember, after the first 4, you don't have to worry about the ongoing months because 4 get 4, right, pay no more. Now obviously those 5 people want to do something. So let's not get crazy here. Let's just say they go out and get 2 people apiece, right? And so if they get 2 people apiece, what we have is then 10% on the second tier. So that's 10% times those 10 people is another $250. So that's a way of doubling the capital that you initially put in for your subscription, right? And so what we have here is a gross of $500. So once again, fast start bonuses. Now, can you do less than 5? Sure. And can you do more than 5? Absolutely. So as many people as you like. Remember, 5 is a magic number, and we'll kind of talk about that here as we go along. Now, wholesale bid commissions. This is a way to generate a lot of revenue in a very short period of time. But once again, depending on your commitment on the subscription bids, determines the percentage you get. So we see here, contributor gets 5% of whatever wholesale bids they're personally selling or referring people to the program. Guardian is 7, benefactor is 10, global ambassador 12. Now remember, second tier gets half that, 2.5 to 6%. Now remember, they have different choices. They obviously could pick one that's not listed here, which is come in for free and then upgrade stuff later. But most people are going to pick between $250 up to $25,000 in wholesale bids. And remember, you're going to get up to 5, all the way up to 12%. So not only is that the initial commission you make, but remember, all repeating wholesale bids from that point on. Now remember, we calculate commissions daily, and we have automatic repurchasing going on daily. So don't underestimate the power of this program, because it generates daily revenue. And when we look at up to 12%, that can add up rather quickly. So let's do a little illustration here. Let's say out of the 5 people that you put into the program, they obviously committed to their subscriptions, but they had to decide what kind of wholesale package they wanted to go with. So let's just say you get one at the biggest package, $25,000. You got a person at $1,000, $5, $10, and $5 again. So if we're a contributor, we get 5% of that total volume, which is $2,300, which shows up into our back office, right, within 24 hours. Now, if we decide to go global ambassador, we would get 12% for the same work, right? It's no different labor here. 5% as a contributor, 12% as a global ambassador. That gives us a check for $5,500. So see, this working smart, not hard. You got an additional $3,200. Now, let's say second tier. Now, this could happen in a day, a week, a month. You know, it just depends on how hard the person works and, you know, what transpires. So once again, just illustration purposes only, no guarantee of income. But let's say on your second tier you've got a total of 25 people. It doesn't really matter how they shake out. It doesn't matter if your first guy goes out and gets 10 people personally and the next guy gets 1. It's just your second tier. So 25 people average 5,000 wholesale bids. That's a gross volume of 125,000 in wholesale bids. So remember, the contributor is half, right? This is half the commission now. It's 2.5%, which is a check for $3,125. But the global ambassador, remember, that's 6% for a check of $7,500. So if we add the difference up here, the contributor would have made $5,425. This is on the initial purchases. This is not counting future, you know, everyday commission, you know, being converted. And the global ambassador, $13,000. Well, you know, obviously that's almost 2.5 times the reward, right, for being a global ambassador. So once again, just pointing out the obvious here. Global ambassador is the way to go if you want to build it big. Now, remember, that's commission. You have 2 choices. One is to put in your pocket, actually 3 choices. Put in your pocket, put into the revenue pool, or a combination thereof. So remember now, depending on your commitment and what level of success you've achieved as far as points, between 250 and 25,000, you get a multiplier as a global ambassador now of 1.3 to 1.7. This is a way to accelerate the growth of your business. Remember, the more points in the revenue pool, the greater the potential of you earning more money on a day-to-day basis. So as the first video that the company put out showed you, global ambassador with 10,000 points would earn 16,000 shares of the pool, right? And remember, that's on a regular basis. Contributor, guardian, benefactor, lower commitment, lower reward. Once again, daily revenue sharing, 2 customers, free ad, $10 in wholesale bids, $10 in subscription bids. You get to qualify and participate in the daily revenue of the company. Plus, when you get your account balanced to 50,000 points and maintain it for at least 4 weeks. Now remember, now the points never expire, so you don't have to worry about, there's no retirement, none of that nonsense. They stay forever. You can get a car for up to 3 years, new or used, on the company for $600 a month. All the way up to $1,200 a month, right, as a perk. Now the subscription bonus pools, this is a little heavy now, so we kind of got to go through this and show you the power of the second revenue pool, right, of PRSC, our patent pending program. Very exciting stuff. Now remember, the money we're going to talk about here that's generated all comes from subscription commitments as far as the affiliates are concerned. So that's anywhere from $10 to $250. Remember now, get 4, pay no more. So 50% of that is going to be thrown into a second revenue pool, and then this is how we break it up. Obviously 50% is going to go to all the bid ambassadors, and then the other 50%, right off the top comes the company's expenses, and then we split the difference between the daily revenue pool, and then all the rest of that money goes to the charities for the kids. And we're talking about being able to generate upwards of tens of millions of dollars per month for children as this becomes a mature model. So what we have here is the opportunity, right, to participate in this subscription bonus pool, but that money that we just shifted over is broken up into 3 categories: subscription pools, visionary ambassador bonus, and VIP bonus. Now once again, anytime you learn a compensation to the nth degree, it could be a little hairy. You want to come back, watch this a few times, it'll sink in, especially if you go to work, get the check, you can always reverse engineer it. Bottom line here is the more subscription pools you qualify for, the greater your income potential. So, simply put, as we get started, the focus here to be involved in the first series of additional checks here, we call this the community pool. The qualification is 2 personal affiliates. That's it, just 2 people. Any subscription, doesn't matter, 10, 50, 100, 250, any 2 people get you in as far as the community pool. Now we're taking 15% of all the money that we moved over, right, from the subscription pools. you get to qualify and help. Now obviously the greater team you grow here, the volume of your first 2 generations equals 1 share of whatever's in this pool. Now remember, everyone's pretty much going to be into this pool, especially if they only get 2 people. So the point is, this is where we start. Now the next step up is called mentor pool, and if you also remember on the car payment program, you get 50,000 points and become mentor, you get a car for up to $600 a month on the company. So remember, that perk kicks in when you hit mentor status. Now to become a mentor, you need 5 active personal people that you've put into the program that are benefactor. That's the $100 a month and up commitment, and then you need a group volume of 2,500. That's exactly $5,000 in subscriptions, right? Remember, we move 50% of money over. So what does that mean in people? Well, there's different combinations. Remember, we have the contributor, the guardian, the benefactor, and the global ambassador. For illustration purposes only, I'm just going to reference everything as global ambassador. So in this case, it would take a total of 20 global ambassadors to get to 2,500 group volume. Now that would be like 50 benefactors, but once again, to keep it simple, I'm just going to reference everything from this point on, for illustration purposes only, as global ambassador. Now when you become mentor, not only do you get to keep what you made in the community pool, but now you qualify for another 5%. Now remember, this is where it differs from the old-fashioned same old that we're talking about revenue sharing. So it bumps you up into another 5% of all of the subscriptions coming in from all over the world. So remember, now as I'm recording this video, we're pre-launching Brazil, which has the potential of bringing in tens of thousands of people almost immediately, in Canada and the Philippines, and the rest of the world's coming. So as you're participating, and you might only have a group here of 20 or 30 people, that 5% is 5% of all the subscriptions coming in from all over the world. So once again, it's not the same old. You're not making money off the group you're establishing. They're just qualifying you to participate with all the other leaders' production all over the world. So every single affiliate in the company is not your enemy like it is in traditional MLM. Everybody in the company is your ally. You want to support everybody. Every transaction, every sale, everything that happens here with Bids That Give makes it what we call the one, right? Everyone is participating in the same company. So it's the one that gets away from the politics of this. It's the one that helps the kids in need. It's the one where you can have tremendous success without having to be the superstar. So when we get the visionary pool, right, this is an important part of the model. So we've gone a total of a width of 5 in a group with a depth of about 20 global ambassadors. Well, the visionary pool doesn't require us to recruit any more new people. It's just taking 4 of the 5 teams that we've established and then helping them generate some volume of people underneath them, or production underneath them. So with the visionary pool, 4 of the 5 teams you have need to have 1,500 in group volume. That's be about 12 global ambassadors under each one. Now before we go any farther, there's a 50% rule that says 50% of the group volume that we're needing can only come from one particular team. So if I back up here a little bit, when the mentor part here, you got 5 teams, right? You need a group volume of 2,500. One of those teams, right, can't exceed more than 50% of all the rest of the teams. Now remember, you can have more than 5. It's just a minimum of 5. I know guys that have already gone 50 wide, so to speak, in the formula. So once again, 5 to 4, help those 4 become about 12 global ambassadors deep each. Not only do you get another 5% of all the subscriptions, but if we notice here, up in the pie chart up here, we see the gold now is active. So what we look down here is the visionary ambassador bonus is 50% of the team volume. This is a very important part of the process, because remember, as we go through the next slide here, to get into the gold or get into the green, you have to be at least visionary or VIP 3 before you can tap into that money. So what we have here is approximately 60% of the revenue that's collected is put into the subscription part of the program, and this is normally blue in color. Now what we have here is the gold and the green, which is about 20% each of all of the subscriptions coming in from everywhere, and you have to be at least visionary or VIP 3 to tap into these. So as we see here, as the volume increases, right, from the team's production, it qualifies us for a higher percentage of all of the subscription money coming in from all over the world. Very exciting concepts. So let's back up here a little bit. We talk about from visionary, now we go to what we call VIP 1. And what we have here is the ability to just have a very small team. So if we go back to Mentor, remember we talked about having a team of about 20 global ambassadors. Then when we got to Visionary, we talked about taking 4 of the 5 teams and helping them create 12 global ambassadors each for a team of about 50. So VIP1 is of a team here of 15,000 group volume, gets us into the another 5%. That's only about 120 global ambassadors. So once again, as we follow the formula, right, and keep our eye on the prize here, we talk about being able to get involved into a higher percentage, right, of the revenue, and it's broken up here in 5% increments. VIP Ambassador Pool 2, 25,000 group volume. That's really only about 200 global ambassadors on a global level. So we're not talking about having a huge team here. But notice Visionary Ambassador bonus now is at 60% of the team volume, besides another 5% of the subscription money. Very exciting. Now VIP Pool 3, we're talking about 35,000 in group volume. That's about 280 global ambassadors. But now notice that not only are we up to 70% of the Visionary Ambassador bonus, but now the VIP bonus kicks in. So now we're hitting it on all cylinders, right? We're getting all these percentages in the subscription pools. Then we have the Visionary bonus, and now we have the VIP bonus kicking in on VIP Pool 3, which is only about 280 global ambassadors. Now as we get into VIP Pool 4, once again, bump up to another 5%. That's a team of about 400. The VIP Pool 5, right? What we're talking about here now is 75,000 group volume. That would be the equivalency of 600 global ambassadors. Now remember, now you're not recruiting new people. You're pretty much just helping your business grow. And of course, the Visionary and the VIP bonus is at 80%. We get to VIP Pool 6. We're talking about 100,000 group volume. Sounds like a lot, but it's only 800 global ambassadors on a global scale. So once again, that's not earth-shattering, right? If you consider the amount of people that are out there that would love to help underprivileged and orphan children and make money at the same time. So with VIP Pool 6 being 800 people, we go to VIP Pool 7. And that's as high as the VIP Pool shares go to. VIP Pool 7 is about 2,000, it isn't about, exactly 2,000 global ambassadors, 250,000 in group volume. Now notice here the Visionary and the VIP bonuses are at 100% shares, right, per point. And then of course we see here how to get more shares out of the pool. If your group's at 250,000, you get 2 shares. If it's at 500,000, it's 3 shares. 750,000, 4 shares. Now the fireworks go off if you have the opportunity to take your team to a level of 6,000 global ambassadors. That's 750,000 group volume. You become what we call presidential ambassador. Now this is an incredible feat, and if you understand the number of people it took to get there versus other companies, the traditional MLM, you're talking about, it's not even fair to do a side-by-side comparison. The first perk for the Presidential Ambassador bonus is you have a choice in the first quarter of qualification is to take home a Porsche Carrera convertible or a Mercedes CLS 550 AMG. Now both of those are at $100,000. This isn't a car payment program. We actually just purchase the car for you and hand you the keys. Now what we have the ability to do beyond that is every quarter thereafter you get a $100,000 lifestyle bonus. So just the title alone qualifies you for a $400,000 pay raise, so to speak. So not only do you keep all the money you've made and all the Visionary, the VIP, and the subscription money, the title gets you another $400,000 a year in income, plus we throw in another $10,000 shopping spree from Neiman Marcus. Now the magic happens, as I said, because once you've established yourself as a presidential ambassador, what happens is we then give you a position above yourself. Now it's still you, it's still qualified as a presidential ambassador, but all you have to do now is generate another team, and that 50% rule we talked about is still in force. Not only do you have a new source of revenue, but it only has to do 50% of the volume. So remember, it took 6,000 global ambassadors to become presidential the first time. It only takes half of that, or 3,000 global ambassadors, the second time. So if you achieve 100,000 in a calendar month or hit presidential ambassador, and one could come before the other, we give you a position above yourself, which gives you the ability to over double your income with only half the effort moving forward. Now, as a reward, what we have the ability to do is give you another perk. Now remember, we talked about a $100,000 car the first time around. Second time around, it's a $225,000 bonus, and that means you can get a Bentley or Lamborghini. But that would be your third car, right? So you might be carred out. You might want a yacht, right? Get yourself a nice boat. If you don't live on the water, you might want an RV. If you don't want that, you can get a house. The point is, we want to give you some more monetary, or like I like to say, eye candy, right? To help you, feel good about your business. You pretty much could buy all this out of your own pocket now with the income level that you're at. But once again, just another reward for you. Now, there's no money that we could give you that would motivate you to keep working. But if you wanted to do it a third time, remember, the second time and the third time, there's no income limitations. The first time around, we limit the monthly income to $250,000. Second and third time, no income limitations. So what we do on the third time you make presidential ambassador, we establish an orphanage in your name. You don't manage it or run it, but once again, this is like what I like to say is your little slice of heaven, a lasting legacy. If you decide to keep working and go a fourth time around, no income limitations, obviously the potential here is to earn upwards of 7 figures per month. We would then establish a church, a school, or a hospital in your name. A very incredible package if that were it, but it's not it. Presidential Elite is the final position in our company, and what happens here is if your team, right, from Presidential Ambassador keeps growing and get to 1.5 million in group volume, that's about 12,000 global ambassadors in the equation, right? In a perfect world, that's how it would shake out. Then we have a $50,000 monthly bonus that kicks in on top of all the revenue and the cars and the perks that we talked about. Now, when you add up the quarterly and the monthly bonuses, just the bonuses, that puts you into a $1 million a year club. This is not counting all your commission. We're not discussing the front end anymore. We're just talking about the back end, and the bonuses alone establish a 7-figure guarantee income. Now remember, every time that you made it to Presidential Ambassador, as your team's volume grows to Presidential Elite, you can qualify for this bonus not once, not twice, but 4 times. So that gives you the ability to have upwards of $4 million a year in guaranteed bonuses. Yeah, that's a big pill to swallow, but that's the compensation program that the founders put together. Because once again, bids to give, every bit helps a kid. We know the only way that we're going to become number one and help the most kids is to pay the most money in the history of the industry to the people that are going to do the lion's share of the work. So what we have here at the Bid Ambassador Club is a way of creating wealth for you and I while transforming lives around the world. So for additional information, additional training, look for things that goes off on a day-to-day basis. All of our leadership is out there giving webinars and conference calls and training. And of course, always look for the monthly training we do in Las Vegas for the United States of America. That's a great place to come meet the founder of our program, Mr. Randy Jeffers, meet the legal counsel. Senior person there is Jeff Bakerink, and then look for the other incredible leaders giving out priceless training right in a city that's not exactly hard to get people to come to. So once again, we appreciate you participating and paying attention, and I wish you all the success in the world. Thanks for watching. God bless.